or 800-348-1007.
Our live stream is now Scratch and Sniff, in that you can scratch the screen and then sniff your fingers. Yeah, the Alan Cox Show.
100.7
WMMS.
I don't know if this is brand new or not, but I love it. DJ Cummerbund, who is opening the B-52's tour. And I would have seen that show, too, had I gone to D.C. Although they said I would have gotten screwed anyway, because last year they were like, oh, B-52's farewell tour. And then DJ Cummerbund's like, I'm so excited, I'm going to be opening the B-52's tour. Unless it's just a really old post, but it looked like it was new information. Speaking of Scratch and Sniff, thank you so much to Big League Junk Nugget, who is assisting in the live stream today. If you're watching on YouTube at AlanCoxShow.com. Thank you. Mary, of course, in studio today.
Hello.
Back home because we're doing the Polar Blast battle tonight.
Mary moved up the pizza.
I did.
She did what?
We were getting Rob, our program director, said, yeah, I'm going to get pizza for you guys before you head down. And Mary texted him.
He goes, it'll be ready at 6 o'clock.
And Mary goes, what if it was ready at 4:45?
Oh, who'd you text?
Rob.
You texted
Rob,
him?
yeah.
I was like, hey, what if? Just throwing it out there. But, like, what if maybe the pizza was ready now? He was like, do you need me to do that? I was like, I think it'd be pretty cool if you did. So next break, we're going to have pizza.
I see. Well, anyway, that's happening tonight out at Boston Mills Brandywine, and it's free to come hang. But if we have discount tubing tickets. If you decide you want to do that, you go, yeah, screw you guys. I want to go tubing. You can absolutely do that. We'll help facilitate that. Hey, Phil, hello.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Great. Oh, I just wanted to say, love the show. And Bill, I saw you open for Mark Norman, and that was good, man.
Thanks, man. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun show.
So, like, probably nobody cares, but I just wanted to call in because it's, like, something that I really enjoy. So the Native American theory of the majority of them coming from the land-bearing strait from Russia is really kind of being challenged at the moment, and a lot of people are agreeing that the majority of tribes in North America came from South America, and then where they came from is a total mystery. So the descendants of a lot of the prehistoric tribes in Ohio, like the mound builders, I don't know if you're familiar.
You're talking about the Pan American Highway?
All right, but let me ask you this. Do you think that they were commanded by the Lord to build a boat and then come over, and then when the brothers of Nephi were bad, he cursed their skin and made it dark?
Oh, God, is that part of it?
Oh, yeah. No,
Oh, wow.
Like I said, I
Curse
figured
their
most people
skin.
Wouldn't really care because it like didn't have the Mormon tie-in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoy Ohio history.
No, that's
and I
cool.
think a lot of people would be interested to know that like the Mayans are potentially who the mound builders are up here, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
Mayans.
yeah, I mean, it
I
doesn't
love
matter.
that
I
stuff.
just thought of it. And
No, that's
I've
great.
always wanted to call and
I
would love
appreciate
for
it.
you guys to look more into that stuff. It's super fascinating, and Ohio rules.
Will do. Okay,
But,
thank you,
hey,
Phil. I
thanks
appreciate it.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
pal.
please, people, look up the mound builders. Bye.
There's Phil in Youngstown.
Phil working for Big Mound over there.
Yeah, right.
He's looking for anything to kill the time there in Youngstown.
Oh, I'm going to be in Youngstown on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
The home of Boom Boom
Yeah.
Mancini.
Yeah.
Alan, tell Poundcake we can literally create mini Big Bangs in the Hadron Collider. The Big Bang can quite literally be explained. Tell him to read a book.
I've been trying to get him
he
to
hasn't
read a
even
book
read
for a
the
year.
Jared Kushner book that Mary got him 2 Christmases ago. He ain't gonna read no book on the Hadron Collider.
Right.
I Can Has Hadron Collider is the book I was going to get him. I had to read a book when I took a climatology class in college. I had to read a book called The First 3 Minutes, which was a Nobel Prize winning physicist. A guy named Steven Weinberg wrote it. Now, he wrote it in the late 70s. So obviously we have learned some things since then, but the fundamentals are still sound. The Origins of the Universe. And his isn't the only book. A lot of people have read Brief History of Time for Stephen Hawking. But I had to read that book in a climatology class, and it was fascinating. Poundcake would imagine the mind expansion he would experience if he comes in here one day and starts schooling all of us. None of us are physicists. None of us are aerospace engineers or anything like that. I mean, the group of us, we're barely literate. You know, somebody texted me in the break, science is more susceptible to bias than religion. That is insanity. Religion is not subject to the scientific method. And, of course, people are fallible, and they find problems with scientific studies all the time. But to, in any way, try to equate it or put it on, and people love to do this because deep down, religious people know that it's potentially all made up. Now, I think it's completely made up, but I'll at least give you that little chit to put in your pocket, right? And so that's why they drive so hard to the hoop, because they're trying to convince you, but they're really trying to convince themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is an existential thing in any capacity. It's an existential crisis for anybody to come to the conclusion that something they believed very deeply, and we all have these, it doesn't have to be religion, something that you believed very deeply turns out to not be true. Or that there's a seed of doubt cast in that. That's a tough thing to get your head around. Like, people find out something about their family, and they go, oh my God, it upends how you see yourself. It upends how you see the world. But baby steps. We're trying to get Poundcake to finish this goddamn Jared Kushner book. And again, there's zero payoff in that book. Have you read any more of it?
Yeah, I just look at the pictures.
No. Have you read any more of it?
No, I said I just look at the pictures.
Mary, did you know you could have purchased the book, cut the pictures out, stapled them together, and given him that?
I didn't know that, though.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Because he said he wanted to read it.
He specifically said I would like the Jared Kushner book for Christmas.
I think in his mind, read means look at the pictures.
Well, he also didn't say I would like to read this book for Christmas.
Oh.
He just said he wanted to have it.
Oh, well, that's on you then.
It is.
Yeah.
It was on
I
his
thought he
list.
said he wanted to read it.
I don't think that
That's
he
why
ever,
I was breaking his balls
I
out.
don't think he ever used that word.
Hey, why do you think, Drake is in town tomorrow and Sunday night? He's doing the Romo Fijo, and Drake hasn't played here in a decade, right? But these shows aren't sold out, and I'm curious why.
I thought they were sold out.
No, there's still tickets for both shows. Justin Timberlake, that guy sold out right away. But everybody thinks Drake's a big deal. It seems to be a big deal.
Well,
for a guy who hasn't been here in 10 years, and there's still tickets for both shows.
When that happens, when a big show like that doesn't sell out, because it's not just Drake, it's Drake and J. Cole. So they're both big name artists. When that happens, I always look at what happened before to where they didn't sell out, and I'm like, damn.
Well,
Renaissance tickets. Who else was on tour?
Wait, what do you mean?
Okay, but
Beyonce went on tour. People are spending their money elsewhere. If there's like a new shoe that's out, like the community, his fan base is probably spending their money on something else, and ain't nobody got money for Drake tickets because they're expensive.
But also,
But
it
if
looks
you
like
like
it's
the
sold
guy-
out. It's just there's a lot of resale tickets.
Well, then that means there's going to be empty seats if people don't buy them.
Well,
But it's
but it doesn't.
technically
But it's
sold
still
out.
sold out.
The seats are sold.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. If
people
you
paid for those seats.
Yeah, people can't afford, $1,000 tickets, and that's what they're reselling these things for. Like, even if you're in Loudville, the tickets for even if it's a Drake show in Loudville, it's gonna be at least $200 a ticket.
So because the bots scoop them up immediately, right? And then you end up paying some ungodly amount of money or whatever.
I thought they had devices to where that didn't happen anymore.
I mean, theoretically, but I assume that's why, if they are sold out, that's why, because they get bought. They said tickets are still available for both shows, which means, to Bill's point, yes, they are available. Doesn't mean that people bought them. So that means if people didn't buy them, they're going to go unpurchased, as I understand supply and demand to work, which means there's going to be
that means the resellers out that money, not they
Drake.
still sold once.
No, I understand. What I'm saying is that will still, if nobody buys it, that will result in an empty seat. So
he'll be all right, I think.
No, I'm just curious why, because to me, I guess I underestimated what Timberlake was going to do, and he sold out right away. And
right, but then there's going to be a bunch of people.
You think it'll be empty seats at Timberlake?
No, because they'll lower the seats. Right now they have them at the highest because that's how it goes.
Just
but then
announced.
there's people that are reselling, and then there's going to be people that are like, oh, I didn't resell these, so they'll give them away. So there's always going to be a few empty seats, but I don't think it's going to be as many as you think, because they'll also lower seat prices the closer it gets to showtime too, because they want to at least make their money back.
Maybe Drake overestimated the draw in Cleveland.
But how, if he has sold out 2 shows? He sold out 2 shows at the arena.
But 40,000 people in Cleveland will not end up seeing Drake and J. Cole.
But that doesn't matter.
No, I understand. Monetarily, it doesn't matter. He may, whatever.
If there's 600 empty seats spread out through the arena, I think he'll be all right.
Understood. I just don't, if I see tickets are still available, I go, well, that's interesting. I wonder why that is.
But every show is like that now. Every single show has resellers that are selling more. There's always seats available right up until the show starts.
Right. What I'm saying
Bruce Springsteen had the same thing. There was people that were reselling Bruce Springsteen.
But was there an ass in every seat?
No.
There's never an
There's
ass in
never.
every seat.
There's never been. I don't think there's ever been a concert where every single seat was completely filled.
I mean, there was at Kiss. We went to the Kiss farewell show.
And you did not see one empty seat.
No.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
That means that not one person got sick, not one person was late, not one person had a family emergency.
I'm just telling
no
you
one
what I
got
saw.
to get a beer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying is you're going to be at this concert and be like, oh, it was really full. Even if those seats don't get filled, you're not going to notice that because it's going to be very few seats spread out through the entire arena that aren't having people in it.
I wonder what he because when you're going to go on tour, there's like a whole calculus that goes along with that. We've talked about this before, where you kind of see where back in the day it was, where am I selling records and where am I not selling records? Obviously now they can see data from who's listening to the music and things like that. And if there aren't that many people into what you're doing, you're not going to go play their town because you're not going to get any return from it. But I wonder, like even major artists, they have to have a spreadsheet where they go, we're really soft in this area. Why are we so soft right here? That would be an interesting dive if you're the artist. Hey, man, how come, because you have to pick which cities you're not going to play. Mm-hmm. And that's based on either routing dates or like maybe you're bookending with a couple of other markets. We're doing Pittsburgh and Detroit, so we're not going to do Cleveland or whatever. But it would be interesting to look at that and go, these are quantifiably soft markets. Why is that?
I just want, again, my mind goes to, where is all this money coming from? Like, it's already competitive, but you had Taylor Swift last year and Beyonce last year on tour at the same time, and both of their tickets were well over $500, like, for nosebleeds.
People always seem to manage to have money for stuff they really want to do.
But I feel like if parents were, like, gifting their kids tickets for their birthday or for Christmas or whatever, like, that's your big gift. You're not getting anything else. Anybody got no money.
So, I just started a mailing list this year, like a month ago, okay? And to basically
good for you.
Link in bio, to basically do exactly what you're saying. Whereas, like, I have to be a little bit more selective leaving from New York City because I can't drive to as many places.
Yes, right.
So, I have about 400 names. And I look, and I'm like, nothing's crazy surprising. Obviously, Ohio has the most. But when I look through it, I'm like, damn, I have a ton of people in Missouri. And I don't know why. I don't know why St. Louis and Kansas City seem to be a huge market for me.
And in Pakistan.
Well,
And in Pakistan,
You're
yes.
going to be doing Pakistan. That's a quicker flight from New York than Cleveland.
Missouri, St. Louis, because Alan was on there, and I imagine there's some people that would listen to you when you were on there that also ended up listening to this show.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I think
but
because we have a lot of Pittsburgh listeners, we have
Yeah.
Detroit listeners because of that.
yeah.
So I think that could be part of it. And also there's
But do you mean
pockets-
St. Louis or all throughout Missouri, Mary?
I mean, Missouri in general, but
Yeah.
St. Louis and Kansas City seem to be the two. I mean, Florida, all over Florida. I have a decent amount of names in Florida. It's
There's
like,
just so many people that go Ohio to Florida. So like, bureau chiefs. Like I bet it correlates pretty well with what we got going on over here.
well, trying to figure it out is like, it's interesting because
it's Charlie
there's,
from it's Charlie from Always Sunny. You're like,
oh yes,
yeah,
so we're like
we're
none
really
of it
great.
makes any sense.
The red string.
Mhm.
And then just trying to get adults to put 2 letters for their state name is also impossible because of the almost 400, only 363 did it correctly.
What do you mean? They don't know the 2-letter abbreviation?
Or they'll write
So they're not Gary Goldman
or
fans.
they'll write California. Or you know what I mean?
I
So then it's
see.
in a different section,
Mhm.
But trying to figure it out or make any sense of it other than like obviously I'm starting from the bottom of a tour where some of these other people have been touring for years and years and years, right? I'm starting from where do people happen to maybe know who I am? And none of it makes any sense.
Let me throw some 2-letter state abbreviations at you.
Ready?
PA,
Pennsylvania,
NY,
New York,
NJ,
New Jersey,
CT,
Connecticut,
MA,
Massachusetts,
NH,
New Hampshire,
VT,
Vermont,
RI,
Rhode Island,
ME.
Maine.
Yes. Now you live, that was less a quiz and more just to point out you live in NY now.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to be careful because they're seeing a massive, massive swath along the eastern seaboard of a violent stomach bug. Diarrhea is slamming the northeast portion of the United States, and it's resulting in lots and lots of sick leave. A lot of people are getting sick along the eastern seaboard. A huge rise in Is explosive diarrhea or violent diarrhea better?
I don't know, man.
I mean, we're so used to explosive, but violent, I got to tell you, I don't know that I've seen that very often. But when you go home, I'm just saying, keep your head on a swivel
I will.
because there's violent diarrhea that is winding its way through those states. And I would hate for something like that to happen upon your
bad case of
return to New York now, your adopted home. Because now, there's always something going around.
My roommate just had it 2 weeks. I mean, I've been
She had the
sick.
violent diarrhea?
Not the violent diarrhea, but she had the flu and then gave it to me. Someone in our, we've been sick the whole time we've been
no.
there.
You got to quarantine away from each other.
We do. Yes. I'm going to start wearing a mask again, dude. Screw this.
Yeah. There's got to be a lot of people in New York still wearing masks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tons.
I still see people here
Mm-hmm.
wearing masks.
Well,
they
we
don't
all wear masks, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
Alan, I hate to tell you, I don't think you're going to have fun at a Cat Williams show anymore. Dude is completely crazy now. Or maybe not. Maybe he knows some stuff, but, I'm kind of in your camp that conspiracy theories are usually outrageous. He talked for about 10 minutes how McDonald's French fries are so good because the Illuminati.
Yes.
So, not really his old stuff. I miss the old Cat Williams.
But that's clearly a joke. He's a
Yeah,
comedian,
but
right?
if it's 10 minutes long, I imagine there weren't great punchlines throughout that 10 minutes.
I see. Yeah, but he's not. I mean, Cat Williams has never been a guy that's worried about beats, right? He's just up there sweating and. Well,
He's very
I,
physical.
I'm just saying, I want to see Cat Williams one time before this dude eventually something very bad will happen to him, and But I mentioned yesterday, Nicki Minaj wants to take him out on tour, and I don't know what the conditions of that are. But somebody put her rider online, and it feels a little double standardy because they're like, oh, she's a very demanding diva. But like every artist has a tour rider with wild stuff on it. Like she wants a pink toothbrush and she's got to have pink hand gel, and, she needs 2 strip steaks, well done.
Oh, God.
Well done.
Come on,
Jesus
Nikki.
Christ, you did not eat. She didn't want to get sick, maybe. Fresh whole kernel corn, not corn on the cob. 2 cans of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Red Rooster hot sauce. This doesn't sound weird to me.
No,
some booze.
Specific.
Yeah, you got to be specific. Very important in bold letters on the rider. Regular ranch.
Specific, not suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Regular ranch and blue cheese dressings. And a white love seat. Very important, no exception. I would dress up as a bottle of ranch dressing to sneak in there.
You're white enough.
So
Hey.
I don't help. I don't know, do people complain about male artists and their weird requests?
No, they've earned it.
They've earned it. Van Halen's No Brown M&Ms is always the one that people cite, but that was a trick to see if promoters were reading the rider. Van Halen was like, we knew that if we got there and the brown M&Ms were gone, that meant that the promoter actually read every page. A lot of times they're like, we don't care about the color of the M&Ms. That was a trick to make sure they were reading what or their, people wrote. Anyway, I got a break.